Summertime. Ouchie, baby. All right, Fleischer's in the house.
Did you know she loves doing that?
Oh.
I do now.
So we ended the TV version of us with us talking a little bit about what should be happening at the White House right now as they get ready to hold a press briefing. This is live on Facebook and live on our webpage, Outnumbered, right now, but it'll be in a loop for hours to come. So at some point, people
So
will
watch what you say?
And they will have already seen it. What do you think holds true after this? Because Sarah Huckabee Sanders will be doing it. It'll be off camera, the camera facing the wall, so we'll have to wait to hear the audio. But what has been commonplace with this, even on big issue days like this, well, I haven't talked to the president.
Yeah.
That would be a big mistake. She needs to talk to the president. That's the most logical question, and the easiest answer, if it's accurate, is the president did not know. And then you move on. Look, her job today is to put her finger in the dike of where the press thinks this is such a gigantic, big story, and get to Donald Trump Jr.'s interview tonight.
Is she the right person for this? They've got a Sean Spicer. They have some people with more experience.
Well, I can't answer that question. This is a White House judgment. They obviously had her teed up before this, and if she was teed up to do it before this story broke, you can't pull her out now. That's wrong. They have different reasons.
And it's
They're
a
having
teaching
different
moment.
briefers.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just wondering, because, you know, you've seen, how many resets have we seen now with personnel since back in the campaign days for the Trump team with people out front, not just the surrogates, but their press team in general? I mean, they have had some real kinks to work out.
A lot of turnaround.
I don't, Ari, I don't know why anyone wants that job. I mean, to me,
it's fun.
Oh gosh, it looks like such an incredible headache. I guess you would have to approach it like that. And this administration, it's even harder than normal because they don't have the political experience. So there's kind of, you know, that whole unknown where you're trying to get people up to speed with what's going to happen and convince them that you know what's going to happen next.
Can I interject in this? I think what I really hope happens going forward today is that there's at least some recognition that this isn't good, that there's now proof in an email that you met with a Russian government official after saying, no, we haven't. We have a statement that came out from Vice President Pence talking about this happened before he even joined the campaign. If they just go on TV and his surrogates go on TV and just say fake news, a Democratic conspiracy theory, I think it's going to hurt them even more. In the same sense that I don't think Democrats should be jumping to treason and collusion this quickly, I don't think Republicans can sit here and be divorced from reality that this isn't something that would have Republicans absolutely screaming bloody murder had Chelsea Clinton done this.
And that is a really good point. Republicans do have to ask themselves, if the shoe was on the other foot and the Democrats were in the White House, what would we be saying? I mean, you have to have certain standards about this business. And so I agree with that, Megan. But they can't say it was a mistake or it was wrong, because Donald Trump Jr. has gone too far saying, I'm not the first person who's done this. He can't say it was wrong. So if he doesn't say it was wrong, the White House can't say it was wrong. And that's the issue with having children of a president in the White House or in a powerful position. What does a White House staffer do if the child of the president did something that was inappropriate?
So what am I seeing on the...
They kick you off. That happened to me. For real.
So what I'm reading...
to kick him off from. He's not in the White House.
So what I'm reading on the chat mirrors what I've been seeing all hour on social media, Twitter and Facebook. People are writing in, for example, D says Republicans stay focused and get things done. Do your jobs. John, MC1 John says, I feel that all the media is losing touch of what America wants to really listen to and know about. For me, the Russia stuff's what the media wants to push and what's not what the American people want to hear. So there's a huge frustration when you actually listen to what people are saying. The average Americans are saying they want to move on. They want to focus on healthcare. They want to focus on the economy. So who's at fault here for, I mean, the president, is he not controlling the message of his own White House better?
Well, I blame Republicans for, if you put it in football terms, here's the blitz coming from the right. It's all the press coverage on Russia. Run left. If everything's coming from the right, run your play the other direction. Where's the policies? Again, focus on policy and the scandal stories.
And who's to say they're not? Who's to say the president's not while all this is going on?
Well, that's a great point. And they all are trying. It's behind the scenes. It gets the page B6 instead of A1. But they still have to deliver on health reform.
It's not as scandalous. It's not as salacious. There's so many players in this. It's very dramatic. My boyfriend's sister just messaged me, this is crazier than the Real Housewives reunion. I mean, it's a lot more dramatic than... I'm just telling you.
But the wardrobe is not as good. I mean,
But it's a lot more dramatic for journalists or whatever commentators than talking about the successes on the economy, talking about repeal and replace going forward. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying I understand why it is leading in the news today.
Alrighty, so we're up on Facebook Live right now, and I'm seeing a trend. Cassie Griffin, sick of hearing about Russia.
Yep.
Eric Vasquez, I'm tired of hearing about fake news in Russia. Let's see.
Some of them you can't read.
Yeah, no, you saw that, right? I had to kind of skip by because some people are frustrated. Paula Sargent says, was Donald Trump Jr. set up? I'm also seeing that on...
That is a good question, by the way, though. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Of course.
In those emails, when they specifically put in Mr. Trump, part of Russia, and its government support of Mr. Trump, I have a friend who knows a lot about Russia that was talking to me this morning saying, why would they specifically put this in writing unless it's to set up some kind of example on the Russian government's behalf? So I don't know if that's, obviously it's just all speculation,
interesting.
but why specifically are they putting so much of this in writing? Because again, anybody knows. I mean, I think you at this point know not to put anything in a text message you wouldn't want exposed on the internet.
Melissa.
Well, Ari, you said it during the show. You said we have a lot of questions. We don't have any answers right now.
And that's why these stories explode so
Right.
hot, and then it takes some time to figure out how much is real there.
Melissa, you'll enjoy this one. Anthony Crispino is writing on Facebook Live, my 401k is up 26%. That's what is important.
Holla!
No, I mean, it's really true. And you have to hope, like you said, that while the media is looking at this and this is the hot story of the day and maybe this is what people are clicking on, that Steve Mnuchin's 100 folks are still chained to desks in the basement working on tax reform, and they're still crunching numbers. And they're like, you guys are not going home until we get this done. And you have to hope that the negotiations over health care are still going on and are still happening, because this is what really affects things over time. Not that I don't want to diminish the idea that if something wrong went on, we want to know about it, we want to investigate it. I just hope the government can do multiple things at once, and you don't need all of the Senate working on this today when they should be dealing with health care and should not go home for the recess unless
Let's be
done.
fair, guys, too, and look at it from the other side. The Democrats said the same things about Fast and Furious and about Benghazi.
No, it's true.
And the difference, though, is, frankly, you have the entire mainstream media focused on Russia. And really, it was only Fox News that really focused and dug in on those other stories.
Yeah, that's true.
And so here, the equivalency is the press thinks one is a scandal, the other is not.
Yeah.
And both parties, though, get exhausted by this.
Well, and
they really do
certain
want other
members
things.
of the media want it to be a scandal,
That's right.
and certain members want it not to be a scandal. I mean, it is not even so much what they think about it. So my husband, who apparently is watching today, both the TV and
Tony.
Outnumbered Overtime, never happened. He says, I'm not going to go on the live chat. Great job, sweetie. I love you. And tell Ari Fleischer, he is terrific.
Aw.
Mr. Harris,
Do you want to tell people what happened to your foot, by the way, because I know they're asking about it?
Oh, my foot.
What happened to
So
your foot?
I did put out on Twitter that the best and the greatest highlight about my ankle that's in an air cast now with these fabulous Louis Vuittons that I bought here. I'm just saying.
Woo. You're not going to screw around with the sneakers.
Like, you know what? You're going to need some fashion to break that down. So the best part is that it happened in Paris. It really is a boring story about some steps that I missed, you know, trying to run to get to the next thing with my kids. But yeah, it did involve some post-injury shopping.
Good.
And
That helps.
Yeah.
right? I mean,
softens the blow.
oh, it does. It does. So
Mitigates the pain.
now I'll put my other 6-inch heel in front of it, as I did during the
Can
show.
people see it? Like,
Apparently they can.
Okay.
And you know what? For everybody that was wishing me well, thank you so very much. That was so kind. This woman said, I know that's painful, which is why you took the heel off from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
We should all
Wow,
wear,
that's
So she's
watching
right.
clothes.
God bless her.
we should all wear boots in solidarity.
I would love
Oh,
to.
right?
I'll wear
Can we go
sneakers.
shopping for them?
I'll wear
come with
sneakers.
you. So the other thing that I'm kind of seeing on here, too, not just stop talking about Russia, but there are some questions about why the White House doesn't stop talking about Russia. I don't think they can at this point, can they?
No, because the press corps was the only thing they talk about at the briefing.
But you made the point that Donald Trump Jr. is not an employee.
Yeah.
So why can't they move on and
Because
let him
Jared
and his
Kushner
attorney
is.
deal with it?
Well, Jared Kushner is, and he worked in a formal capacity for the Trump campaign when this occurred.
Yeah.
So that makes it relevant and
yeah,
important.
for the White House particularly.
And one story
I mean,
said
it's-
Jared walked out after 7 minutes of the meeting. Paul Manafort stayed there on
There
his
were
phone and
others who
ignored
were
it
part
all.
of it,
Is
yeah.
that true? Did Jared do that? So she'll have substantive questions to take about
Sarah
Jared's
Huckabee.
role.
Sanders.
Well, the only piece of advice I give going forward is why having political experience is still important, so you won't make mistakes like this.
Wow, I love Outnumbered.
We can't all
Jorge
just be
Ferrer
women.
says, excellent show, and the women are so powerful that they articulate the message very clearly and thoroughly. And the one lucky guy, too. Keep up
All
the
right,
good work.
Felicia, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to our viewers. Bye.
Thank you.